Hey everyone, this is Anvesh. Today I'm going to walk you through how I created this shell shader. So here I open the reference image. Now as you can see, there are a couple of big dots, there are small dots, and the color is different here compared to the bottom. Size is increasing gradually from top to bottom. And then I open the reference image in a new window and I started creating the model. So while I was creating the model, I tried to make it as simple as possible. It was just a basic default cube. I added a couple of loop cuts and tried to just move the vertices around. The idea was to match the shape to the reference as close as possible. And then I added a HDRI to the world map and then I tried to remove the background. I changed it to black so that I can view the shape, something similar to the reference image that we have. Here I created a Voronoi texture. I'm using Node Wrangler to view the shader. You can see that the dots are stretched here, and that's because we are by default in generated. So I switched to object. Now you can see that the dots are like uniform in terms of scale, in terms of aspect ratio. And in order to make the dots much more prominent, I added a color ramp and I changed the blacks and whites and made it tighter. Now these are the big dots. To get the small dots, all I had to do was duplicate the Voronoi and increase the scale of the Voronoi. So now we have two sets of dots, big dots and small dots. Now all we have to do is combine them. But before that, we need to define the dots positions, like the big dots are in the bottom and the smaller dots are on top. So that we will do using gradient. We'll try to hide it using a gradient. Here I'm using separate XYZ. The gradient is Z-axis. And as you can see, by default the gradient starts at 0, the object center, but we want the gradient to start from the bottom of the object to the top, 0 to 1. In order to do that, we will add a function f of x equals to x plus 1 by 2. That means we will multiply it with 0.5 and add 0.5. That way the gradient starts from 0 to 1. And then I added a color ramp to increase the contrast, to make the blacks and whites more defined. I moved the sliders a bit so that the white portion of the gradient was matching with the bigger dots in the reference. I switched it to ease to make the gradient smoother. And once I had it, I used a mix RGB to hide the areas where the dots were. So as you can see, the dots are now in the area where it was white earlier. I tweaked the color ramp a little to make it much more visible, but now there is an issue with this. As you can see, the dots are cut off. Like you can see grayed out areas. You can see the dots are no more full. There is white creeped into the dots. And that's happening because we are using the mix RGB after the color ramp. What we should be doing is move the mix RGB before the color ramp, so that way we will retain the shape of the dots. After this, all I had to do was like tweak the color ramp a little more so that I could get more dots in the area. And even the position is such that it matches the reference. Once I was done with that, I duplicated the color ramp to define the position for the smaller dots. I repeat the same process. I moved the color ramp so that the top portion was white. And once I was happy with that, I did the same thing. I duplicated the mix RGB, plugged this into the FAC. As you can see, the dots are smaller. And I had to increase the range so that it covered more than half of the shell. Now that we had the smaller and bigger dots, all I had to do was mix them. So I used a mix RGB and switched it to multiply. The next step was to sample the colors. So we have like multiple shades of yellow and brown, orange and brown. I used color ramps to convert the black and white into color. I sample the colors from the reference image. This is straightforward. The black that I extracted from the reference had a lot of blue here. So instead of using that blue, I duplicated the color from the ramp and picked a brown shade and tried to make that dark so that it was more brownish. I then duplicated the color ramp to make a second version of the color which had the peach color from the bottom. And all I had to do was mix both of these colors using Mix RGB with a gradient. So I duplicated the color ramp again and adjusted the slider such that I got the white on top and black on the bottom. I used this gradient as the fab for mixing the colors. You can see the color variation from yellow to peach. Now next I want to make the smaller dots a little lighter, and that I did using the color ramp. So instead of black I turn it to grey, and once I do that it gets lighter, and then all I had to do was adjust the colors. Now the dots were looking too uniform. In order to bring some variance to that, I added noise texture and mixed it with its own coordinates and entered that into the vector of the Voronoi. This is a tip I learned from Syncretic 3D. He has some really good tutorials on procedural shaders. I will give you the link in the description. I would recommend you to go through his tutorials too. So when I change the mix to 1, you can see that the dots have become into some kind of a weird noise. So we have to use it as low as possible, as subtle as possible, to get a really good variation in the dots. I repeated the same thing. I plugged the noise into the other Voronoi to get the variation on the little dots also. And all I did was to play with the different color ramps, and I checked whether the shader looked good in all the angles. The rest of it is just me trying different combinations of color ramps and moving the sliders left and right. This is the part that takes a lot of time, the effort to match a reference. Once this was done, I plugged the color to the base. I reduced the roughness to make it more shiny and increase the specular to get really good reflections. As you can see in the preview, we are almost done. The shell looks shiny, but the only thing missing is the number of dots. So I spent the rest of the process making the dots match the reference. This is how the final output looks like. I hope this video helps. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments which other kinds of tutorials would you like to see. Thank you.